Yeah, because it shouldn't happen that way. Joe Flacco, can't get it done anymore. So bring Shedeur Sanders up with the young kid, the lefty, and now your first and second team are the young quarterbacks. That's what we want to see. And make no mistake, Alex, we talked about this yesterday. You said there's 2 first-round picks that they have next year, right?
Yep.
So this is about, let's see what we have. Are one of these guys going to be our quarterback moving forward?
Right.
And to me, look, I was saying something about Shedeur Sanders. And to me, I just know this kid has so much ability that I want to see him out there like anybody else.
Yeah.
And why the hell he's not out there,
it makes no sense.
It makes absolutely no sense.
It makes no sense.
No sense.
You hit the nail on the head, Rex. This year, about the rest.
They said it again on national television. Something's off with the Cleveland Browns. And this time, everyone could feel it. The camera cut to the sideline. Dylan Gabriel under center, Joe Flacco on the bench, and Shedeur Sanders, helmet off, watching. The Browns just lost 17-21 to the Vikings, and the questions only got louder. How did a team with this much young talent end up in the middle of yet another quarterback storm? And more importantly, why is Shedeur Sanders, one of the most electric, confident young QBs in football, still standing on the sideline? The whole panel felt it. Tedy Bruschi leaned in. Randy Moss looked frustrated. And then Rex Ryan, the same Rex who used to preach veteran leadership who badly mocked Shedeur Sanders for that viral miming interview, changed his tone completely. He said it loud and clear, bring Shedeur Sanders up with the young kid. It makes no sense that he's not out there. That moment hit like a shockwave across the league. Because when Rex Ryan, one of the toughest, most old-school defensive minds, says he's done waiting for Joe Flacco, something has definitely changed. See, the Browns' quarterback carousel is older than some of their fans. Since their NFL return in 1999, 41 different quarterbacks have started for this franchise. 41. It's not just instability, it's identity crisis. And now, Cleveland's trying to pretend this time it's different. They drafted Dylan Gabriel, the quick, efficient lefty, in the 3rd round. And just 2 rounds later, they grabbed Shedeur Sanders. 2 young guns in one draft. But then, they re-signed Joe Flacco, a 39-year-old former Super Bowl MVP whose best days are clearly behind him. That's where the confusion began. Because if the plan was to rebuild and evaluate the future, why keep Flacco? Why not let the 2 rookies grow together? One from the pocket, one with swagger and fire. Instead, the Browns created a quarterback room that looks more like a chemistry experiment than a football plan. And that's what the panel tore apart on NFL Countdown. Rex Ryan put it bluntly. This makes no sense. You've got 2 first-round picks next year. This is about finding out what you have now. Are one of these guys your future? Because if not, move on. Alex Smith nodded in agreement. Even he looked puzzled, a former quarterback himself. He said, something's off. Given Shedeur's ability and track record, why isn't he the backup right now? And that's when the camera cut to Shedeur. Composed. But you could almost feel the fire behind those eyes. Sometimes silence says everything, and in Cleveland, Shedeur's silence is louder than any press conference. The discussion turned emotional. Bruschi and Moss talked about quarterback rooms, how they're supposed to be tight, supportive, united. They said it's supposed to be kumbaya, where the starter and backup help each other grow. But in Cleveland, it's chaos. Because this isn't a mentor and protege story. It's a competition that started the day both names were called on draft night. Bruschi didn't hold back. Cleveland messed this quarterback room up on draft day. You drafted a competitor in Shedeur Sanders, a really good one. These guys are confused and competing instead of learning. And maybe he's right. Because when Joe Flacco walks into that room, a man old enough to be their uncle, it doesn't bring stability. It brings tension. Flacco knows he's on his last leg. He's not mentoring. He's surviving. Meanwhile, the young guys are trying to prove themselves before the season slips away. So ask yourself, if you were Shedeur Sanders, what would you do? You led Colorado with poise, you've got the arm, the leadership, the charisma. And yet, here you are, watching from the sideline while a 3rd-round rookie and a fading veteran split reps. Tell me, Browns fans, Does that make sense to you? Drop your thoughts below, because this one's not adding up.
One thing that I'll say, talking about a young guy like Shedeur Sanders, there's a lot of guys or a lot of fans that he wooed and wowed, through preseason. A lot of people rooting for him, and nobody has seen him play yet. Right now, it is Dylan Gabriel's turn. Has Dylan Gabriel, from what we've seen so far over in London, has he disappointed us?
No.
So far, so good.
So the question I'm saying, I don't care if it's Dylan Gabriel backing up Shedeur's backing up Dylan Gabriel. Whenever your opportunity comes, you better be ready, because if there's any type of microscopic lens looking on Cleveland, the quarterback position is the main position.
The one thing I see out of Dylan Gabriel in this game right here, he's protecting the team.
And that's where Randy Moss jumped in, with the perspective that only a legend can bring. He said, there are a lot of fans that Shedeur wooed and wowed through preseason. They're rooting for him, and nobody's seen him play yet. That's right. Every fan who watched Shedeur light up the preseason knows he's ready. He's calm under pressure, he protects the football, and he brings that energy that the Browns have been missing since Baker Mayfield's early days. And yet, every Sunday, he's still holding a clipboard. But Randy Moss added something else, something that cut deep. He said, whenever your opportunity comes, you better be ready. Because in Cleveland, the quarterback position is under a microscope. That's the truth. In Cleveland, the QB job isn't just a position, it's a curse. 41 starters in 25 years. And every time they think they've found the one, the story ends the same way: confusion, controversy, collapse. In Cleveland, the quarterback isn't just the leader, he's the lightning rod. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is sitting on that lightning. Dylan Gabriel looked solid in his debut. Efficient, composed, no turnovers. But let's be honest, that's not enough to end the conversation. Not when the team just lost 17-21 to the Vikings' backup quarterback. Not when your fan base is chanting for Shedeur every week. And not when your head coach refuses to explain why he's still QB3 behind Joe Flacco. Because even Alex Smith said it makes no sense. Rex Ryan doubled down. Something's wrong, he said. If Shedeur isn't your backup by now, something's off in that building. And maybe that's the real story. Maybe this isn't about talent anymore. Maybe it's politics, comfort, or fear. Because Shedeur Sanders isn't your average rookie. He's a brand. He's confidence. He's Prime's son. And some coaches aren't ready for that kind of energy in their locker room. But you can only hold back talent for so long before the pressure explodes. So I'll ask you, Gridiron fans, how much longer should Cleveland wait? Do you trust Dylan Gabriel to lead this team past .500? Or is it finally time for Shedeur Sanders to take that field and show the NFL what's coming? Drop your takes in the comments, because the Browns' QB room just became the most controversial in football. And if you think this drama's over, it's only halftime. Because what's happening inside that Cleveland locker room is about to shake the entire AFC North. It's week 5 of NFL season, and Cleveland's already in danger and chaos. Behind the locker room doors, the questions are louder than the music. Who's leading this team? Who's the real QB1? And most importantly, who do the players actually believe in? Because leadership in the NFL isn't about who wears the headset. It's about who the locker room follows. And if you ask around Cleveland right now, that answer might surprise you. Myles Garrett, the heart and soul of this defense, made headlines months ago when he hinted about wanting out. Yeah, the same Myles Garrett who's carried this defense through years of mediocrity. During Super Bowl week last season, he reportedly said he was tired of the confusion. And now, that confusion's back, front and center in the quarterback room. You think a guy like Garrett wants to sit through another lost season? Another year of who's the starter this week? He's watching Dylan Gabriel try to find rhythm, Joe Flacco trying to find his legs, and Shedeur Sanders waiting for a chance that might never come. That frustration? It spreads. From the defensive line to the locker room leadership. When your quarterback situation is shaky, your whole identity collapses. And right now, Cleveland isn't just losing games, they're losing faith. Adam Schefter laid out the facts during the broadcast. The Browns went up against a Vikings team that was on its backup's backup. Carson Wentz started for Minnesota, replacing J.J. McCarthy. Then Wentz went down with a shoulder injury, and Max Brosma finished the game. And the Browns still lost. 17-21. Let that sink in. You had a third-round rookie quarterback in Dylan Gabriel facing a backup duo, and you still walked off the field with another L. That's not just a loss. That's a red flag. So when the panel asked, "What are we doing here?" that wasn't just TV talk. It was frustration. It was disbelief. Because the Browns keep saying this is a developmental year. But how do you develop your franchise if your most talented young quarterback isn't playing? Shedeur Sanders didn't just show flashes in preseason. He commanded the huddle. His rhythm, his pocket movement, his leadership, it looked different. More mature. More ready. Rex Ryan, the same guy who once said he wanted veterans leading the room, changed his mind completely. He said it with conviction. "I just know this kid has so much ability that I want to see him out there. Why the hell he's not out there makes no sense." And when Rex Ryan changes his tune, you listen. When old school coaches start calling for new school quarterbacks, you know a storm's coming. And in Cleveland, that storm has a name, Shedeur Sanders. Now look, Dylan Gabriel hasn't been bad. He's efficient, smart, he protects the ball. But let's not confuse efficient with electric. The Browns need more than safe throws and quick outs. They need life. They need confidence. They need someone who makes fans believe again. Because this isn't about game management, it's about momentum. And Shedeur brings that the second he steps on the field. So the real question is, what are the Browns waiting for? Is it fear of controversy? Worrying about what happens when you start Deion Sanders' son in Cleveland's media circus? Because here's the truth, controversy only matters when you're losing. And right now, they're losing anyway. Alex Smith said it best on set. Given where they're at as a team right now, I don't understand why Shedeur isn't the backup and ready to roll in case something happens. Exactly. In a league where one play can change everything, how can your most talented QB not even be next in line? Every NFL locker room knows. The quarterback room sets the tone. But Tedy Bruschi said it straight. This one's not normal. He said, "It's not the Kumbaya type of room I'm used to seeing. It's confused. It's not functioning right." And when the leaders are calling it confused, that's not just TV talk, that's truth. So now the spotlight shifts again, right back to Shedeur. Every day he doesn't start, the questions grow louder. Every Sunday he doesn't play, the fan base gets angrier. And every loss makes the calls for his name impossible to ignore. He's not just a rookie anymore. He's a storyline. He's the symbol of what the Browns could be, if they just gave him the chance. Here's what makes this so fascinating. Even though the Browns lost 17-21, their defense played well enough to win. They held Minnesota to 21 despite starting a third-string QB. They did their job. The problem? The offense never found rhythm. And that's exactly what Shedeur brings, rhythm. He doesn't just manage a game. He creates one. He extends plays, reads defenses, and delivers under pressure. That's the difference between surviving and winning. But right now, the Browns seem more concerned about protecting feelings than building the future. Cleveland keeps protecting the wrong people, and it's costing them games. So where does this go from here? The Browns are sitting on 2 first-round picks next year. Everyone knows what that means. If they don't figure out their quarterback situation soon, they'll be drafting another one. And that's why this moment matters. Because this season isn't about wins or losses anymore. It's about clarity. Do they already have their quarterback of the future in Shedeur Sanders? Or are they about to waste another year chasing ghosts of the past? Rex Ryan and Alex Smith made their point loud and clear. The Browns need to find out now. No more hiding behind Joe Flacco's experience. No more pretending that efficient is enough. This is the NFL. You either lead or you get replaced. And the one guy in that room who actually looks ready to lead is still standing on the sideline. So let's end on this question, Gridiron family. If you were Kevin Stefanski, if you were running this team, who would you start next week? Dylan Gabriel, the careful rookie? Joe Flacco, the veteran on his last ride? Or Shedeur Sanders, the young, fearless quarterback built for the spotlight? Because in Cleveland, time's running out. And the only thing worse than losing is losing without ever finding out what you had. You can bench talent for a week. You can hide it for a month. But you can't bury greatness forever. And if Rex Ryan's right, if something is off in Cleveland, then maybe, just maybe, it's time for the Browns to fix it the only way they can, by letting Shedeur Sanders finally take that field. And that's the story tonight. The Browns' quarterback chaos, the loss to Minnesota, and a young star still waiting for his shot. What do you think, Gridiron Nation? Is it time for Shedeur Sanders to step in? Or are the Browns making the right call by staying patient? Drop your opinions in the comments. We read everyone. And if you love deep dives into NFL controversies like this, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and stay tuned right here on Gridiron Insights, where we turn Sunday headlines into real football stories. Because this saga in Cleveland, it's far from over.